This is your weekend market review for Saturday, November 30th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your weekend market review. Saturday, November 30th, 2024. Hopefully you're having an excellent week. Happy holidays. Enjoying some time to relax, reflect on what you're thankful for, what you appreciate, and just in general, take a little time to breathe, look at the market, and step back and go, okay, what's going on here? What do we got and what to expect? So I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations, and friendships that I've made through this channel. Very thankful for everyone who's subscribed, likes, hits the notification bell, leaves a comment, so whatever. It all matters to me, and I appreciate that. So again, on this holiday weekend, hopefully you're doing well and you're watching, I don't know, some football, relaxing, going for a hike, whatever you need to do to, relax and get after it. So in the spirit of the UNC-NC State rivalry, let's go Pack. So on that note, we know next week is back to normal. We've got a full week. Time to probably start picking up your Stock Traders Almanac. It's on my website if you want the link. Easy. Also, too, we know that the Monday after the holidays is usually a little bearish. That doesn't necessarily mean that, the market's going to collapse tomorrow, or Monday, but I think it's one of these things where I would be on red alert. Red alert, again, over the weekend, Trump said he wants the dollar. He's going to put 100% tariff on any country that doesn't use the dollar or wants to get rid of it, basically. We'll see how that plays out. Again, I've been on record saying Trump is dollar first. Whether as much as the crypto bros are out, dollar first. That's always going to be the case. So let's go through it deeper, and let me see how I can help you guys. Don't hesitate to reach out, leave a comment below if you have questions. If you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link description below. If you'd like to chat, use the link in the description on Calendar. Let's chat, whether you're talking about trading, investing, real estate, buying and selling, investing in real estate. Let me know how I can help, because again, I think a lot of people don't realize you get two agents for the price of one if you let me help you out. No difference in cost. You get two for the price of one. Here to help, and then you get someone you actually trust. Again, I think most people would say that that's one of the values that they see in me, is like being honest, open, communicating, not scared to tell you what I think. Also, too, like, subscribe, and the notification bell. Again, YouTube, when these videos come out, and drop some other stuff here and there. Also, the website, doing a little updates on it, but here's the 25 Almanac. Here's the link. Buy. If you use the link, I think I get like a nickel. It's like a referral link. Again, very open, honest about things. Just is what it is. So again, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. All right, so what else do we know? We know we got like a Fed meeting the 18th. Right now, the odds are kind of swinging around. Looks like the cut is coming, but man, it's interesting because this week's the week that was, the economic day for housing was, whoosh, yikes. Absolutely disgusting. I need a new home sales, 610 versus 738. That's not good, right? You also saw pending home sales, which again, they were expecting 7.5%, 2%. Good. Not going to beat it over the hammer, but just be careful. Bitcoin, not surprised. We talked about the first drop should get bounced on any uptrend. See what happens up here at 98,000. Everyone's saying it's going to 112 or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens up here. We'll see. We shall see. Again, this is why you talk about raising profits, taking profits the more you're up. You can always add dips. You can always layer in and out. Again, big up moves are usually followed by chop at worst. You can trade around it. So not much to say there other than be careful. I know the XRP and all these other folks are going nuts. Oil, chopping around. Again, I don't think the downside's huge, but demand is an issue if there's a recession, which it looks like there is going to be. It's just how fast is it going to be, and what is the government going to do to respond? Again, because I don't think they want to cut rates. Inflation is not tamed. Natty gas getting stuck up here in the threes. Again, this has been a good trade. We talked about taking some profits if you're short KLD. Take heed or don't. That's your choice. I would obviously manage the position. I mean, that's always the case. Dollar dropping last couple days. We'll see what happens next week. Interesting action, though. We talked about it being on fire. King dollar. TLT, finally, it is happening. No, it just in general, we talked about recessionary tendencies at some point, but we said we also thought rates would go higher, pulling off of the highs. got a pretty big pullback into some references. Again, if you zoom out, you can see what I'm talking about. But we had a double top. We saw some of the options action. Jay Solstice and the folks dropping now said, yeah, it makes sense. If you had a double bottom, you got some volume. It's just, okay, well, now we need to get over this area. So if you get up there pretty quick, does it back off or does it rip right through it? I mean, that's the question you have to ask yourself, because it feels like the bottom's in. It's just whether you get a big pullback before you go, or do we just blast right through it with some minimal chop? Your guess is good as mine. VIX, 13.5. Holy freaking bananas. Wow. Okay. I mean, there's not much you can say that other than congrats, the volatility sellers. Nice work. VIVIX, which usually bottoms first, right? Looking like it's bottomed. Red alert. SPY made new highs. Got some puts into next week. Again, they're lottos. If they go to zero, I'm not really that concerned about it. Won't be the first time I've lost or ever lost. But watching this area, again, breaking out over the holiday week. First in the last 3 business days of the month. Okay, QQQ holding the breakout in the 20-day. Worth a watch. IWM, we talked about it backing off, then coming back up. And again, these candles up here look a little funky. As long as you hold around 240, I think it's okay. But if it breaks below it with some volume and some pressure, it could get ugly fast. DIA, holding up pretty well. Can't say much about that. Gold, again, I think you got some end of the month position squaring. People buying. Looks like a head and shoulders top. I mean, again, the best way to trade a head and shoulders is for waiting for the trend to break. If it's going to be a head and shoulders failure, meaning like the top is not a top, it's actually like a fake. I wouldn't call it fake because there's nothing fake about it. But the head and shoulders is validated. Boom, you can go higher. Worth watching. Silver, again, this one's been lagging. This is why it's tough to trust some of the metals. I mean, they're just sitting on the bottom of the ranges. GDX and GDXJ had some decent little bounces, but again, nothing. You see gold is making higher highs off the lows. Why are the miners not confirming that? And that's where I would be. See, like GDX, see, lower high, right? Sorry, what was I thinking? No, they're both making lower highs. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, scratch that. I, for some reason, thought this was making a higher, this connection was up here. I apologize, sorry. Yeah, no, they're both just kind of chopping around. GDX, my brain just messed that one up. But in general, not much bounces for either. Just keep an eye on them. Again, I mean, long term, I think it'll be fine. Near term, this is where it gets a little tricky. But once you get past the middle of December, then again, it gets a little interesting. AEM definitely looks like we talked about being the strongest one. AG, not as strong. Chopping here at the old breakout trend line, 200-day, 100-day. I mean, it's a really good reference if you want to trade it. Newmont been lagging like a mo. We talked about that. See what happens here. Pass, chop, chop, holding around. And again, if you bought the dust, we talked about some people who traded this. I bought it when it was like 4 pre-split. Not a bad trade. Keep an eye on it. Worth a watch. Again, I mean, I don't think miners are going to go absolutely bonkers until the market, whatever recalibration needed to like kind of reset the market. Because again, it's trading at insane premiums. I mean, people don't realize that. Then I think it makes sense for that stuff to bottom. Taiwan Semi hit the 100-day. It's been channeling. Keep an eye on this. Micron. And a whole lot of nothing. It just hits the 113 and fails every time. Chop, chop. AMD, this one's been all over the place, just going nowhere. We talked about dead cat bounces. I mean, you hit the 20-day, and it's just really nothing. Again, I personally think that the chips is the easiest short of the sectors. Again, NVIDIA, we talked about who shorted the highs or the channel highs. Congratulations. But we also posted, like, don't be surprised. You go from 150, was it 152s, down to 135 pretty dang quickly. I mean, you're going to get some buyers. It's just how the market works. SMCI, again, this thing is all over the place. Your guess is good as mine. Again, you're playing headlines. However, it does seem to respect the top of the range, backing off. Keep an eye on that, I don't know, 38, 39, 40 area. Intellectual property, channeling up off the lows, but this has done this many times where it starts to build a channel, and then we'll see what happens. SMH, keeping an eye on this one, right? 200-day channel lows. If that fails, Chihuahua could get fugly fast. Adobe, this one's been holding up pretty well. I mean, not well relative, is again all relative. It's come off the highs, the double top, then it hit another double top. I mean, look at this thing. It's just a big choppy sucker. And this is one of these stocks where you should just take note of. Whatever tops and bottoms, they typically, I don't know, it looks like the top is always a double top. So if you're looking to short this, I mean, it might be some sort of calibration move to 530s to short. Not leave it alone. Apple closed near the high, which is kind of crazy considering we know demand is softening. They're discounting heavily. Keep an eye on this because I think it gets real binary whether you want to short it or not at some point coming up here. And if it go long, you want to. You can play the consolidation breakout. Sorry, I mean a consolidation meaning like, look at this action, chop, 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 breaks out, bullish, bull traps. Then I'd be careful, but also could fail here. Amazon again, it gets real binary. It's just I hope that makes sense. Like the spots make it easy. Amazon 20-day seems to be holding. Meta, some of the boys again. I even like this trade. I thought it would pop when it moved down here. Filled the gap. Need to get over obviously these mid 570s. Keep an eye on it. CRM had a nice big up move. Looks like a double top. Keep it simple, stupid. Guggenheim. A lot of people like this. A lot of people hate this. We're kind of in this chop zone. I would watch the extremes, play from there. You get over here, it can get higher. If it gets below this, it's probably going lower. I mean, I know that sounds so stupid, but keep it simple. Could go nowhere. That's the thing, right? It could be doing the Microsoft game where it just chop, 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 chop. Same thing. Like what happens at 405, 404? Need to get over the channel high. I mean, until then, it could play this game of chop suey, going nowhere. And DAQ, sucker. I mean, rolling into the end of the month. Okay. Again, I like this short, but I'm not stepping in front of it yet. Wait for some definitive action. MicroStrategy, it's like, there's your blow off top. Now it's consolidating. I still would be watching the 20-day. I personally don't have a position in it, but it's a 2 times Bitcoin fund. That's basically what Michael Saylor has explained to me. And then when I listen to him say that, I believe him. Meaning like that seems like that's what it's doing. It's playing. I mean, he's trying to leverage that company to be almost like I said, 2 times Bitcoin with actual Bitcoin. You know, Netflix been holding up pretty dang well. I mean, again, I'm impressed that it is. I mean, your guess is as good as mine on this one. It looks like a blow off top, but near term, I would just ask myself, do I really want to trade it? Hey, do you? Oh man, I just bunkered a stock up here. I'm sorry. What typically comes after my Netflix? Man, bungling this recording. I apologize. It's Pan W, Tesla. Nah. What is the typical order? I apologize. Something in the low 20s. I'll figure it out later. Pan W. Oh, it's Roblox. I apologize. God, man. Too much turkey. All right. Seems to be holding up the 48 area. I apologize for that brain fart. Tesla. We talked about this one getting up to the range highs, backing off. Man, look at this move. Like, this is what's confusing. And when a market holds up on light volume or a holiday week, I imagine a bunch of bulls got stopped out and then it popped back. So I'd be watching this blue level. Again, apologize for the slowness. Let's keep it going. Insight got a decent bounce off the lows with huge volume. I would watch for any retest. Again, I think this thing's going higher in the long term. I think it will get bought out. Palantir been bossing again. This thing is super expensive. Be careful. It's super duper expensive. Doesn't mean it can't get more expensive. McDonald's seems to be stuck in this chop range. DKNG, again, I keep talking about, like, I love the short up here at 44, 45. Keep an eye on it. Airbnb Bizzle, nice bounce back, right? Hits a little bit of the range, fills the gap, backs off. Costco, this thing has been on. I mean, it's been one of those names that you consider strength, but this is where we get confused. You have a big up move, then you have like a channel, then you break out of the channel. Either we're about to go parabolic like J style, or this is a bull trap. Again, you could actually play it either way with aggressive move potentially coming. Starbucks, talked about this getting over the 100 area. Has to hold up. FedEx, I like the short up here. I've said this. Watch this like 3.0 something. Again, we were patient on thought here. Okay, let it go. Again, market's been holding up. Now you're into some more definitive ranges up at the highs. Keep an eye on that. Caterpillar, again, because remember, look what their earnings were last time. Watching the gap fill. Keep an eye on it. DE, this thing had a nice move. You're welcome. Talk about it broke over. I mean, here, this is like the thing, like if you want to think like Apple, big consolidation pattern. If it gets over, it's going up. Keep an eye on it. Nucor, chopping. We like commodities long term. Let them plug these things into the ground. X probably gonna get bought out. I think it does get bought out into this year. I mean, we got a couple more weeks. VALE, again, this is what's crazy. Like Brazil, all these names look like crap. Arrow, Junior Copper. I mean, this should be way better. CCJ got to give credit where it's credit due. Uranium holding up pretty dang well, but I'm not a big fan of this formation. And now you have a backup. Okay, you really have to get over 60 to really invalidate all this, or it looks like it's starting to head down. CF, again, holding up pretty well. But again, all these ag names have been stuck in the mud, sideways, chopping. NTR, same thing. I mean, I like ag long term. I mean, again, I think the economy is going to be better ultimately, and or commodity investment. I mean, you're going to see money flow into these names. Again, it's just it will. I mean, especially when they've been beaten to death. AA, again, we like aluminum holding up near the highs. If you zoom out, there's a lot more upside potential. XLF seems to be getting a little tired up here, but I mean, again, if you've got your FAS, depending on how you want to trade this, be patient or stop out and just wait. JP Morgan, this is where it gets tough, right? Like you look like you have a double top and you hit an old channel trend line and here's your hammer. I mean, that's what I'd be watching. That feels like the top. People will go, oh, okay. And it's like, well, let's start looking. Some of these other ones look like they've already topped, right? Like look at Morgan Stanley, right? Bank of America, it's starting to potentially, but look at like Goldman Sachs chopping up at the highs. Carry has definitely looked like it's peaked out, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So you might have your top. XBI, here's again a name, like a risk on name. Interesting to see it. It crushed post-Trump. Now bouncing back, we'll see. Got to get over that 100 area. Jets, again, this makes sense to me as a short, but seems to be holding up near the highs. Housing stocks bounce right back, which is impressive considering that the data was crap, but look what's happened. You have a very clear sign. Like, you got to get over 126. Does that make sense? 125? I mean, it's really, you want it simple like that. Hopefully you look at it and go, yep, that makes sense. If it fails, it fails. I mean, that's where you look at the spots. Solar, we talked about this one being oversold due to bounce. You got it. Remember Sedge, 300s, we told to short it. It's down to 10. We thought 15, pretty close. Now it's, again, all these names, they've been throttled post-Trump. And then obviously they dropped into Trump as well. Don't be surprised they get a little bounce. HYG, again, I think you got to be high to your mind to be buying corporate debt, in my opinion. USO, corporate debt's going to, if it gets revalued, oh, God, they're getting that. USO, keep an eye on it. We talked about the UNG. I'm not a really big fan of this product. It seems to be, I mean, the easiest trade is shorting the KLD. And here we go, right? We talked about taking profits down here. Talked about shorting up here. I mean, it's a really easy like channel. I mean, ideally, if natural gas gets absolutely throttled, I'd love to see it get up to like a 90 extreme and then pow. XOP, we talked this breaking the downtrend, then backing up and filling the gap. Now you filled the gap, keep an eye on it. I mean, if it's a bullish move, it should continue by backfilling some of the gaps if needed, continuing higher. If this is a pro gap or a novice gap, then this is a trap in the high. So you keep it simple. In hopes that it makes it easy. Exxon, it's hard with some of these names aren't following. It seems to be stuck on the 100-day. CVE, again, like names like this, I think would be starting to catch some bids at support, and they're not really. Valero, gasoline names have been chopping around. Yeah. NPC, same kind of thing, just chopping around. Oxy, I mean, I've gone over, like, I think it makes sense here, but could it get packed down one more time? I mean, that's possible. It's just, it's not moving anywhere quickly. So that's where your frustration with timing of these things, like they don't go anywhere. That's where you're stuck. And again, here you go. We talked about EQT breaking the downtrend, getting back up into these mid 40s. Congrats. I mean, it's an easy, simple trade. Last but not least, Flex LNG, because I think we'll be natural gas exporters. I'm on record saying that. So keep an eye on these names. Again, whether you want to trade them, that's why we review them every day. However, just be safe. No matter what, be safe, preserve capital, do the best you can do. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate you guys tremendously. I love everybody involved in the program. I think it's not a program, the channel, Discord room, those who reach out. Again, we might always not agree on things and see things similarly, but at least we have a tremendous amount of respect. And hopefully you guys know that if you see me, I'm showing the prayer, the thank you. Again, appreciate all you guys and love you guys. Happy holidays. Talk to you soon. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.